I'm Ginger Cruz. I approve this message, and I humbly ask for your vote.
KUAM TVH, first on Guam.
KUAM News headlines are presented by Calvo's Insurance, protecting Micronesia for 85 years. Matson and the Adahi Itano program. Apply at matson.com. New Jeep Gladiators up to $7,000 off now at Cars Plus. Named the best vehicle for adventure in 2024. Get your Jeep Gladiator today at Cars Plus. McDonald's of Guam, I'm loving it. And King's Restaurant, serving your local breakfast, lunch, and dinner favorites for over 45 years.
Ahead on KUAM News Primetime, the Guam Election Commission seeing more early voters ahead of Super Tuesday. Plus, get your tickets now for the Guam Women's Chamber Candidate Forum featuring the candidates for Guam Delegate and several senatorial hopefuls. And two local residents recognized as heroes for their bravery and selflessness are Mitsuki Hirayama with the story.
Hafid and good evening. Welcome to KUAM News Primetime. I'm Nick Delgado.
And I'm Destiny Cruz. Happy Rescue Friday. Thanks so much for making us a part of your day.
Well, a major update to report in a government corruption investigation.
Former Public Health Director Art San Augustine and Chief Health Inspector Tom Nadeau are clear of all charges filed against them in a government corruption investigation. Superior Court Judge John Terlahi dismissed the case with prejudice, meaning the pair cannot be tried again of the same allegations. In summer 2023, the Guam Attorney General sought an indictment against the duo, alleging they signed off on certain school inspection reports for campuses that were apparently never inspected. The judge dismissed the case with prejudice after the AG's office failed to comply with the court's order to appoint a special prosecutor.
Defense attorney Jay Ariola tells KUAM Art San Augustine is a man of faith and humble character who has been a public servant helping our island's most vulnerable members of society through his work at public health for decades. He was not guilty of any crimes other than the Attorney General's office malpractice in this case. It never should have been brought and orchestrated by Doug Moylan for his personal political aggravatements. The rules of professional conduct apply to him and his office. When you violate the rules, cases are dismissed without prejudice, he ends. You may recall the court also dismissed the government corruption case involving the Guam Regional Transit Authority for the same reason. "17 days left until Election Day."
This is early voting is underway at the Westin Resort in Tumon.
That's where the Guam Election Commission met overnight to discuss the latest with Decision 2024.
A first time for election officials, a large number of voters decided to show up early to the polls.
We have 1,438 voters as of 6 o'clock tonight on the fourth day.
1,006.
438.
438. And that's the fourth day of early voting. Good.
And we will continue to open Monday through Saturday, 10 o'clock to 6 o'clock. Up until Monday, October 28th.
Early voting ongoing as Election Day inches another day closer. The Guam Election Commission meeting at the Early Voting Center Thursday night. GEC Executive Director Maria Pangilinan.
We cleared all the little glitches on Monday, not that I was aware of. Kudos to Commissioner Benny Pinala, who was here on the first day. He saw, for the first time, we had 21 voters lining outside before the doors open.
Pangilinan telling the commission homebound and off-island voter numbers continue to grow.
We are now at, for homebound, we are at 330 that we processed, and in office is 809. Oh, that's as of 10:15. But I want to point out that the off-island, we're at 95 and 160 were sent out.
Voters clearly are showing up for this midterm election as the race to watch is between the candidates for Guam Delegate. The GEC expects a smooth election as the new fiscal year gets going. Pangilinan telling the commission their budget was not shortchanged.
They approved the budget that we asked for. We asked for $2,344,642, and this is the first time they gave us exactly what we asked.
Several firsts for the GEC. Commissioners also approving the precinct official list, getting that set for the November 5th general election day.
And you can watch all the interviews from the candidates for delegate, senator, and mayor right now on KUAM's YouTube channel.
The Guam Women's Chamber is also hosting a candidate forum to let the community hear more from those looking to lead the island.
October 24th is the Thursday you will get to see 9 senatorial candidates and 2 candidates for Guam delegate take the stage during the 2024 general election congressional and legislative candidate forum. The public is invited. Regine Bisco-Liu is with the Guam Women's Chamber, the host of the event.
We paired up with and partnered with the Guam Hotel and Restaurant Association. Shout out to Mary and her team there. For another round, we did a primary election forum, and now we're coming out with the general election forum. Early voting is already happening, and election day is fast approaching. So we really wanted to give our community an opportunity once again to hear directly from the candidates, to ask the questions that are really important to them, and specifically for our organization, issues and challenges that impact women in business. Because we know and we have seen that when women thrive, the entire community thrives. And so every single person on this island is dealing with a lot of these issues of, housing instability, food security, just the cost of, a quality of life on Guam. And so all of these very important issues, not to mention or leave out education and health and safety, all of those things kind of are top of mind. But what we're also hearing from the community is that they are really looking towards this next crop of leaders to collaborate and to participate more fully. And so we really have urged them to come out and be a part of this, to participate in this forum. It's going to be a mixer, followed by a legislative forum, followed by a congressional debate. So it's a whole night of, listening to the people who want to be our elected leaders for the next 2 to 4 years. Yeah.
And I saw the list of those candidates, at least the senatorial candidates that have confirmed. That's set?
That is set. We gave them at least 2 weeks after we gave our invitations. We did a round of phone calls and WhatsApps and conversations and, really pleaded with them to participate. And we have 2 new candidates, Sean Gumatao and Bistra Mandiola, who will be joining us, and then 5 incumbents who will also be joining us on the legislative side. And we also want to thank Congressman Jim Moylan and Ginger Cruz for, again, gracing the stage with us and answering some of our questions.
That really is the race to watch this midterm election. And thank you guys for your participation in our congressional debate as well with KUAM.
Yeah.
But what is the main takeaway that the Guam Women's Chamber hopes to get from these candidates?
So many of the challenges that each and every one of us is facing, is particularly folks who are entrepreneurs or small business owners or even employees of private companies, we're really struggling with labor challenges. We're struggling with, utility costs, all of the different things that kind of are adding up, and just, being members of working families or trying to put food on the table for ourselves. And for our children, it's a struggle, and so we definitely want to hear their take on that. And what I've been hearing a lot the past 2 years, especially on the senatorial side, is it's easy, Nick. It's easy to pinpoint what the problems are, or even to tell you who's to blame for them. But we are looking for a new crop of leaders that are going to bring solutions to the table, and that's what I think this forum. Are really hoping to accomplish, not just in the questions that we're asking in the forum, but also prior to that in our mixer. So folks can come in, they can address candidates directly and ask their questions that have been weighing on their hearts and their minds, and it's a great opportunity for that dialogue to happen.
The forum is next Thursday from 5 p.m. to 8:45 p.m. at the Hyde Regency in Tumon. Tickets are available now at GuamWomen'sChamber.com.
And we are bringing back a second round of the most comprehensive election poll. It's your chance to make your voice heard and take a look at who you want to lead us into the future. Starting Monday, October 21st at 9 in the morning, check out the KUAM Facebook page to participate in our KUAM General Election Online Poll. It's a way for you to gauge who should be leading our island next. You can also view the poll results released from last month now on KUAM.com.
And if you vote in the Northern Marianas, we want to hear from you. Vote now on the KUAM News interactive online CNMI delegate poll. It's there we ask, who do you think should be the next delegate to Congress? This poll will be active throughout the month. 5 candidates are running for the DC seat: Democrat Ed Probst, Republican Kimberlyn King Hines, and Independents John Gonzalez, Liana Hofschneider, and James Rifen. To vote on the poll, find the link on our KUAM News Facebook page, KUAM CNMI on Instagram, and KUAM.com.
Now to the race for the White House. Early voting begins in North Carolina, a swing state hit hard by Hurricane Helene.
As Election Day gets closer, both campaigns are pulling out all the stops to mobilize voters and address any challenges that may come along the way. NBC's Bree Jackson has the latest from Washington.
Vice President Harris making multiple stops in Wisconsin, signaling a laser focus on blue wall states.
It is good to be back in Wisconsin.
Harris addressing news that Israel killed Hamas leader Sinwar, the architect of the October 7th terror attacks.
This moment gives us an opportunity to finally end the war in Gaza, and it must end such that Israel is secure, the hostages are released, the suffering in Gaza ends.
Harris making possibly her strongest statement, separating herself from President Biden during this interview with conservative-leaning Fox News.
My presidency will not be a continuation of Joe Biden's presidency.
Former President Trump making a pitch to one of the fastest growing populations, Latino voters, repeating falsehoods about migrants and claiming he'd work with tech mogul Elon Musk to reduce the nation's debt.
But the waste and abuse in this country, the fraud in this country is massive. And he and his team are going to work on that. We're going to get it down.
Would y'all mind if I, pick on Donald Trump a little bit?
Both campaigns getting a boost from celebrity billionaires as Mark Cuban joins Harris on the campaign trail, all part of efforts to energize voters. Early voting is now underway in North Carolina, where some residents are recovering from Hurricane Helene.
I mean, it's everybody's responsibility to get out and vote, but right now I've got too much on my mind to be thinking too much about the election.
Crisis at home and overseas are top of mind for some Americans as Election Day nears.
From apprehending a drunk man wielding a machete to tracking down a robber who stole his own mother's purse, 2 Good Samaritans recently recognized by the Attorney General for their heroic actions.
Mitsuki Hirayama has the story.
2 local residents recognized as heroes for their bravery and selflessness. The Attorney General's office awarding a pair of Good Samaritan awards Thursday. 43-year-old Echeverria Chun from Jigo jumped into action when an alleged drunk man threatened others with a machete by Nana's Cafe in Tumon early September.
Mr. Echeverria Chun, while on a Tumon beach, along with others, immediately responded to women shouting for help, and upon coming to their aid, saw an intoxicated machete-wielding individual holding at bay airport authority off-duty police officers.
AG Doug Moylan says Chun noticed an opportunity to subdue the assailant, identified as 19-year-old J.S. Milo, and tackled him without hesitation. He restrained the assailant until Guam police officers arrived. It wasn't until after the scary situation ended that Chun realized he was struck by the machete in the forehead, requiring him to get 10 stitches. Milo has since been charged with aggravated assault. Moylan also honoring the off-duty airport police officers who helped out.
And it highlights the fact that law enforcement officers not only put their lives on the line, but do that 24/7.
Also receiving the Good Samaritan Award,
Mr. Joseph Perez, refusing to be an idle bystander, helped a crime victim of a robbery and quickly sprung into action to ensure the arrest of a man wanted by law enforcement.
66-year-old Joseph Perez from Manila went out of his way to track down a thief after witnessing a strong-arm robbery outside of Lao Mart in Sinahonya.
We had a big problem inside, very big problem. And I hope that every law enforcement pay attention to what I'm saying. We have to get all the CIDs, all the SWAT team, and all the canines, and all the law enforcement in this island, all the GPDs, all the firemen. We have to put ourselves together and clean this island up.
Court documents state 31-year-old Michael Lau Camacho took money from the cash register and approached his mother, the owner of the store, for more money. When she refused, he allegedly pushed her down to the ground, causing her to injure her elbow, and took off with her purse. Perez followed Camacho in his own car and called police, who were able to then make the arrest.
If there's a will, there's a way. There's nobody on this earth, any human, who tell me that we cannot do it. We can do it.
Camacho has since been charged with 2 counts of theft, third-degree robbery, family violence, and assault. Matsuki Hirayama, KUAM News.
Thanks, Mitsuki. Up next, one Sinai lawmaker wants to pay inmates for their labor while incarcerated.
Plus, 10 passionate University of Guam students from across Micronesia now join the latest cohort of the Guam Green Growth Conservation Corps. You're watching KUAM.
Fresco Fridays on KUAM News, presented by Fresco Clothing, original custom design apparel of Guam and the Marianas, located in Hagåtña, just across from the Gani Shopping Center.
What's that?
That's the Taco Bell Cantina chicken.
Okay, well, please tell me you're using a condiment. Yeah, avocado verde salsa.
Oh, we believe in mayo. This is how we chicken in this house.
I don't see a pickle on it.
Maybe we don't want a pickle on it.
Okay, all right.
Traditionalists. They're in every family.
Dad, please.
Sometimes common ground is just one bite away.
What?
I can feel again.
I love you, Dad.
I love you. Taco Bell Cantina chicken burrito.
Welcome back to Primetime. One lawmaker in the Sinai wants to pay inmates for their labor during incarceration as part of their overall rehabilitation.
However, not everyone is in support of the proposal amid a fiscal crisis. Regional correspondent Tomas Mangueña reports.
It's less about the wages and it's more about rehabilitation.
Castro's bill seeks to allow the Sinai Department of Corrections to pay inmates for work while incarcerated. It would enable them to earn up to $1 per hour.
The intent of the bill is not to use government resources to pay inmates. It's actually more of partnerships with companies. So, for example, let's say our license plates. Our license plates are imported and ordered from off-island, but if we purchase the machine, that can be a partnership with DPS and corrections to have the inmates, instead of spending that money and importing license plates, you can now produce license plates on island.
Castro noted that any wages earned would first go to any money owed, including for child support or court fees. He says it could also help DOC with the cost of room and board. Meanwhile, DOC Commissioner Anthony Torres said he supports the principles of the bill.
While some may argue against the idea of paying inmates or supporting their work programs, it's essential to recognize that these initiatives aren't just about giving handouts. They're about fostering accountability responsibility, and resilience.
Torres noted the success of the DOC's growing community outreach program and its benefits to the community as inmates help improve public infrastructure. Ultimately, he says if the bill becomes law, it will be another tool to provide public safety through rehabilitation.
By investing in work programs today, we can lower crime rates and save taxpayer money in the long run, transforming a justice system from a cycle of reincarceration to a system that nurtures hope and opportunity.
Tomas Manglona, KUAM News, Saipan.
For the past few months, 4 out of the 15 ambulances with the Guam Fire Department have been operational, with the remaining awaiting special parts from off-island or repairs.
The agency reassures the public that a plan is in place to include a mutual aid agreement with federal fire emergency services and has even received assistance from private medical transports.
No formal talks. There was a conversation in passing. We were just talking about, that usual challenges that we face, but nothing that we've never been able to overcome.
Guam Fire Department Acting Fire Chief Darren Burrier speaking on Bill 362, which was introduced recently by Senators Frank Blas Jr., Joanne Brown, and Jesse Lujan. The bill would give GFD Special Crisis Procurement Authority to acquire essential items such as parts, medical supplies, equipment, and services. According to the bill, it would be a, quote, critical step in ensuring that ambulances remain equipped and operational.
I think the intentions are good. They have the intentions, they have the interest of the public in mind. They want to be able to provide that best care we can get to them. And we all do. Here's about the fire department. The governor, lieutenant governor, they've all expressed that. And we do appreciate any help we can get from Senator Blas or any of the other senators to help us in achieving our objectives to bring the best care and life safety to the people of Guam.
Burrier says currently GFD has 4 ambulances operational out of a standard 8 set by the National Fire Protection Association. GFD averages about 20,000 calls a year. Some ambulances will average 12 runs a shift. They do run hard, and as expected, the units will unfortunately break down. The ambulances that are out of service currently are awaiting parts, and a requisition of new ambulances has been placed.
It's not something the bid goes out and it doesn't get filled, instantaneously. It takes months for those ambulances to get built. These are special ordered vehicles. They don't make them and put them on a lot for people to purchase like regular cars. So we give them our specifications, they build it to our specifications, and that build usually can take at least 6 months or even longer for it to be filled, depending on the market.
Although the bill notes the current situation as a crisis, Burrier says there is an ongoing contingency plan and memorandum of understanding with their military partners.
If our ambulances are all out at calls and responding and transporting, and we have a critical call that comes in that needs an immediate response, we have a tiered system on our side. All of our firefighters are trained in multidisciplines. They all have EMT certifications, rescue, so they're able to respond to any scene, provide care at the scene, and our partners would be able to give us mutual aid to where they can get an ambulance there to be able to transport these patients to the hospital. And we still use that, we use it on a regular basis, and we do the same thing for them. We can respond in their need also. And then we also have our paramedic units, which is on an intercept unit. So if they're not busy on an ambulance call, treating a patient, and they're needed somewhere else, they can actually go to the scene, provide care at the scene until transport.
And if there is anything Burrier would like to say to the island community, it's this.
I've been on Guam for 40 years and a firefighter for 40 years. The professionalism of the men and women of the Guam Fire Department has always been at a level that's been very high, and I've never experienced a period of time in where they have not strove to give the very best to the people of Guam.
In the meantime, an emergency session has been requested so that lawmakers can take action on the bill. Jonagan Charfris, KUAM News.
For many islanders, island wisdom flows as deeply as the ocean that surrounds us, encompassing the ancient knowledge of caring for our natural resources.
Now, a new cohort of University of Guam students from across Micronesia is embarking on a mission to sustain the planet, honoring the traditions of their ancestors for the benefit of our future generations.
It's a voyage to preserve the waters that have nourished and surround them.
I grew up going out to the sea with my mom to fish.
And a responsibility to protect the lands beneath their feet.
And up to the mountains with my dad to farm.
10 passionate University of Guam students from across Micronesia now join the latest cohort of the Guam Green Growth Local 2030 Islands Network Conservation Corps, a program paving the way for a green economy.
We as islanders, Pacific Islanders, are environmental stewards by heart.
That's G3 member and Balao native Kingichi Tour, who says the initiative has been life-changing.
It's my island. I love my island. I want this island to be here for my children to experience and their children.
It's a shared desire to care for the Blue Continent, linking each island in an unbreakable chain. The cohort learning conservation skills in Guam to bring back to their home islands of Kosrae, Pohnpei, Yap, Balao, and the Marshall Islands.
I think I can go back home and change the world.
The crew now setting out to create ripple effects here at home and make waves around the world. The dorm corps will receive a $1,300 stipend per semester and 120 continuing education units for their participation in the program.
Now for a look at your world at home.
Here's a view captured from Pajita Beach in Tuma.
On Guam, family is everything. We care for our aging parents and for our kids and grandkids. It's a blessing, but for some working families, it's also a lot. I'm Ginger Cruz. I approve this ad because caring for family isn't always easy, but it shouldn't be impossible. A key priority for me in DC will be working to expand federal child care for Guam families, fully fund universal pre-K, and increase access to elder care insurance and assisted living support. Because on Guam, we are all family.
Senator Duenas fought to get $20 million in additional education funds and $30 million appropriated to GMH. Senator Chris Duenas' Malik legislation will put more police officers on the streets, and Senator Duenas is always ready to take on Guam's newest challenges. His housing bills will allow for greater construction flexibility. Re-elect Senator Chris Duenas. Focus, balanced, ready.
I am Chris Duenas, and I approve this message.
When you talk to people in the community, there is a cry for change. I want to be able to provide a different option, another choice. I hope to bring common sense. I hope to bring new ideas. I hope to bring a new way of leading and collaborating within the Guam legislature in order to change the direction. I'm throwing my hat in the ring and offer another choice for people to select to serve in the Guam legislature. My name is Vince Borja, and I approve this message.
afraid, keep the smile on your face. The moments you can't replace, and I'll be around. Whoa. You can count on me. You can count on me for life.
Wherever life takes you, we're always here for you. Calvo's Insurance. Count on us for life.
Foodie Call is brought to you by Pepsi. That's what I like.
Howdy guys, and welcome back to another edition of Foodie Call. And today we're back with another episode for National Pizza Month.
Yeah, we're at Vitali's today checking out their margarita pizza and their super combo.
Perfect. And on top of that, we also got some pastas. It's definitely a carb load day today. We got the shrimp fettuccine pasta with the white sauce.
And this is the fettuccine combo with meat sauce.
So cheers, Kobe. Oh.
Cheers.
Cheers. Just everything that you expect on a supreme pizza, but Vitali's alone is called a super. That was really good.
Super good. Super good.
Super good. The super is super good.
I'm gonna go for another bite.
Can't forget the Pepsi.
Cheers.
Oh. Ooh.
So the fettuccine combo is actually meat sauce with their white sauce, and it makes it really creamy, really smooth on the taste buds.
Cheers. The shrimp is cooked perfectly. The pasta is the perfect texture, the perfect al dente, and the white sauce. All right, guys. So we're gonna go and find some friends to help us finish with all of this food.
No.
But it was so good. Of course, we had to stop by Vitali's for National Pizza Month. How did you enjoy your lunch?
15 out of 10.
Thank you so much for our friends at Vitali's, and of course Pepsi for sponsoring this segment.
We'll catch you guys on another edition of Foodie Call next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Foodie Call is brought to you by Pepsi. That's what I like.
If political forums are your thing, I got a good one for you because our friends at the Women's Chamber of Commerce and the Hotel and Restaurant Association are holding a legislative and congressional forum. This is on the 24th, as you see there, starting at 5 p.m. Legislative candidates and Ginger Cruz and James Moylan running for our congressional delegate. Make sure to check out GuamWomen'sChamber.com for tickets. All right, food. Nourishment for the soul, amazing looking, the plating is amazing, and we want you to go check out the Hyatt on November 6th because that is the place to be for the Micronesian Chefs Association Guam Top Chefs Table. 10, count them, double-digit culinary wonders of the Pacific are going to happen. Some of the island's most talented culinary masters will be on display for you, a 10-course tasting meal with beverage pairings. Make sure to get tickets for that. And on Saipan on October 19th from 9 a.m. to noon, check out the AMP Visitor Center because they are holding Icons of World War II. Now, this is Herman Guerrero, right? You guys know Herman's Bakery here on Guam. We love Herman's. We go up to Saipan just for Herman's, and we are honoring Mr. Guerrero, otherwise known to the locals as Pan. He baked during wartime. Very, very important moment in regional history. All right, big weekend ahead. We hope you have a good one. We hope you stay safe. We'll see you on Monday.
Now to your Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club shoutouts submitted on KUAM.com.
And the winner of a yummy ice cream cake.
Lots of birthday love to spread today, everybody, so let's get to it. Happy birthday number 3 to Kylie Jo Cabrera Hernandez, and to our rainbow baby, you are such a blessing. Your family says we love you. Happy birthday number 25 to Dylan Hernandez. Dylan J, we are sending you all our love. This is a very, very proud family. Have a happy birthday, Megan Boswell. Mom and Dad are saying equally, we love you very much. Corey James Adudu, happy birthday to you, and please enjoy your special day. We love you so much, says the family, who says, bonus, all of our love going out to Corey. Rose Blas Salas, happiest birthday to Miss Rose. Please enjoy your special day, and we love you so much, says your family. And we don't neglect belated birthdays here on the show, so happy belated birthday to Edith Calvo-Farron. And your shout out says very, very lovingly, on behalf of our family, I'd love to add my beautiful mother-in-law, Edith, to the birthday club. Absolutely. She never asks for much, her family says, but the birthday club was something she has always giggled over. She has commented that would be great to hear her birthday one day celebrated over the club. She's an October 16th birthday and just the warmest soul. We love you, Mom. Hey, thank you for that shout out. That's what we do here on the show. So Edith, we hope you have an absolutely wonderful day. And equally wonderful messages going out to Samantha Jordan and Michelle Marie, who are both the winners of a Cold Stone Creamery ice cream cake. So we hope you both enjoy it, you both share with your family, and you both have a happy extended birthday.
Happy birthday to all of you celebrating out there today. That's your primetime show. Thanks for watching. I'm Nick Delgado.
And I'm Destiny Cruz. Have a safe evening and stay beautiful.
Today, welcome back to CNMI Weekly, and now we're joined with two biologists working on tinian with the bridled white-eye, who recently released a study about that native tinian bird. And so Kaylee and Fletcher, we'll just go ahead and just start with introductions. Tell us a little bit about yourself and your work on tinian.
Sure, I'll go ahead and start. My name is Dr. Kaylee Swift, and I'm a postdoc working with the University of Washington. And I have been living out on tinian for the past 3 years, where my work has focused on studying, ironically, not the bridled white-eye, but actually the tinian monarch. We've been engaged in a long-term sort of natural history study out here. But in the course of spending so much day-to-day time in the jungle, we obviously observed lots of different things, and that's what brought us to this recent observation about one of our other forest birds, the bridled white-eye.
And my name is Fletcher Moore. I'm a current graduate student at the University of Washington, and along with Kaylee, I have been living out on tinian for about 3.5 years. Firstly, working on the tinian monarch, and then more recently working on kind of larger breadth forest ecology of tinian and planning future conservation and restoration projects on the island.
All right, great. I'd love to talk about more of your wider work, but just to start off our conversation, you publish this piece with a very clever name, White-Eyed, Red-Handed. And so tell us a little bit about your observations, because it is quite interesting, basically, and correct me if I'm wrong, but these particular birds basically stealing from other nests to make their own, right?
Yeah, exactly. So I have to credit Fletcher with the title. He's the pun master. But yeah, so the observation really came from a really like spontaneous, genuine place. We were watching a pair of fantails nest build, just because we're bird nerds and that's what we like to do in our free time. And after the pair had come in and added some material, they left presumably to go collect more material. I noticed this pair of white-eyes come in, and they were sort of skirting around the nest, and I was a little suspicious that they might do then exactly what they did, which was take nesting material. And so first time we saw it, we went, oh, that's, you know, that's like an interesting one-off, but we didn't necessarily think anything about it. I think, you know, like many people in the general public, we are often have the same experience of, like, if you see something, you think, oh, well, that's it, because I'm seeing it, it must be common and therefore it must be documented and probably not such a big deal. And then we kept seeing this behavior on some of the camera traps that we were deploying in the course of our day-to-day work with the monarchs. And after that, we looked into it more and found that actually this is a really rare behavior among solitary nesting songbirds, meaning some birds nest in big colonies where everybody's really together. A lot of birds are like folks out here experience. How, for example, they'll see all the seabirds very closely packed in the trees, or gone to Rhoda and seen the boobies. And in those contexts, sometimes stealing is a lot more common. But with birds like our white-eyes, who just, it's a single pair, they have their nest, it's away from the nest of other birds, this kind of behavior is a lot less common. And so we realized it was something that would be worth reporting.
And Fletcher, anything to add to for this particular piece that you published?
Yeah, I think Kaylee has covered kind of the behavior and how we stumbled across it pretty well. But something I'd like to add is the significance of publishing an observation like this in a scientific journal. In the Mariana Islands, we have a lot of really interesting and unique wildlife, plants, all sorts of stuff. Just the entirety of the island environment is not like anywhere else in the world. And so there's lots of unique behaviors, things that happen there. And it would be wrong to credit, what we recorded and wrote down as being the first people to see this behavior, because undoubtedly thousands of people have seen something like this happen over the years. But it is important to, our responsibility as researchers is to record these kind of things and then publish them in a way which can be shared far and wide, because even if the specific organisms that we have in the Marianas are unique and only found there, the principles of ecology and biology apply across the world, and something that we see might not just be important in the Mariana Islands, but could be useful for someone else far across the world, which we could never predict. So, writing these things down and sharing them could have impacts that you never really know at the time you're just seeing something.
And so tell us more a little bit about the bridled white-eye. My understanding is that it was last seen on Guam in 1983, and like many of the other forest birds, were killed by the brown tree snake. And so where can you find the bridled white-eye right now, and what is its current population, and what's the recovery like?
I can speak to this, Kaylee, if you'd like. So the bridled white-eye, or the nosa, as it's known in Chamorro, is a species that's endemic to the Mariana Islands. The Guam had its own endemic subspecies, which is a slightly more narrow classification of a species, which, you're correct, was driven to extinction by the brown tree snake. And unfortunately, unlike the sihek or the coco, it was not preserved in zoos and aviaries. And so that species has been completely lost to us, which is a great tragedy. Luckily, its very closely related cousin, nosa, in the northern Mariana Islands persist. And so on Agiguan and Saipan and Tinian, it's a very common bird. On Tinian, recent surveys showed that it was actually the most common bird on Tinian. There's believed to be several 100,000, maybe up to almost 1 million individuals on Tinian alone. So this bird is very common anywhere with forest cover, but especially native forests. It's something that you might be able to see, although it is very small and cryptic. So a lot of people may think that they've never seen it before, even though it flies, across the road when they're driving pretty often. It's maybe hard to tell exactly what it is. There's also a very closely related cousin that lives on Rhoda, that's called the Nosa luta, or the Rhoda white-eye. This is a listed endangered species because it's only found in the high elevation areas of Rhoda, and there's probably very few. I don't know the exact numbers off the top of my head, but a lot less of that bird on Rhoda than the closely related bridled white-eye on Saipan and Tinian.
Guam's auto appearance specialist, Elegant Reflections, has been providing the automotive industry with professional detailing and car care products at its highest quality, from complete detailing, full interior detailing, exterior detailing, headlamp restoration, hand washing, seat and carpet shampoo, engine degreasing, undercarriage cleaning, paint sealant, fabric protection, paint oxidation removal, and so much more. Visit us at our new location. Call 646-5555 for an appointment. Elegant Reflections, Guam's auto appearance specialist, over 20 years of experience.
We're here to talk a bit about your recent accomplishment, but first, do you mind just giving an introduction of yourself, your ties to the Marianas, and where you're at right now?
Yeah, Hafide, my name is Joshua Lee Mendiola. I'm born and raised in Guam, but I'm originally decided from the island of Luta. I'm currently living in Linden, Washington. And then I'm currently a sales rep for Pepsi out here. And I'm also now officially the OCB Pro Men's Physique Bodybuilder. And it was very exciting that I received my reward this past weekend. But that was one of the biggest accomplishments that I received, and representing the CNMI, the family.
Yeah, tell us more a little bit about the reward, what it's called, and what you had to do to earn it.
So the federation is called the Organization Competition of Bodies, which is called OCB. And it's a men's physique. In order to receive your pro card, you gotta obviously go through a solid prep and diet for this show, and learning the skills and learning it's not just bodybuilding, it's the fitness in the background overall, and having that mental preparation for this show. I was on a 24-week prep for this show. Leading up to the show, I had a lot of obstacles, little minor setbacks, but we got back in the groove for it. And at the end of the day, I received first place on the novice category, because there's the two categories I competed in, and then another first place in the open for men's physique. And then they announced that I also won the OCB overall. So I was a men's physique overall champ, and also got awarded for being a professional, which is a pro card. The pro card obviously helps you level up in the organization, and also gives you a little bit more opportunities of having some endorsements. That's also along the way. A lot of sponsorships that's along the way as well. There's a lot of talks on that as well. So I just got it. I'll be receiving some phone calls and such as emails throughout this week, and see what I can do to be rewarded to be part of some endorsements coming up shortly. So
That's awesome. Congrats. I mean, how did you get into this bodybuilding? When did you first start? What piqued your interest about it? And I mean, it sounds really intense, at least for the 24 weeks. It takes a lot of discipline.
Yeah, it was very disciplined. So mental, physical, disciplinary all the way through. But what made me start was my older brother. He was a client, and he also was a bodybuilder too. He also competed in shows as well, and he became a personal trainer. And after being a personal trainer, I ended up just joining a gym with him. And I thought just working out, we just want to fit in. You want to look good, you want to feel good about yourself. Then I took it to a whole nother level where I'm like, maybe I got some interest of what bodybuilding is actually about. And then I started looking to some shows and watching people go through like mental preparation to be in a strict disciplined diet for that long. I'm like, no way, I wasn't gonna be able to do that. But for me, I want to give it a shot. I want to see how is it gonna feel? How is it gonna what does it take to push that limit and push that that threshold over that, and getting through over that pain, and I accomplished it. It was worth it, because it's a lot of hard work, that was paid off for this, and a lot of, like I said, discipline, mental toughness. You gotta have a perseverance in the end too. So you gotta, you just gotta push yourself through it. Everyone goes through like setbacks. Everyone goes through obstacles throughout the duration of your prep or you're getting ready for a show. But you just gotta fight through it. There's a lot of battles, so it's like day in, day out, you just continue to grind outside the gym as well, and life overall. So, but that was my interest, is seeing my brother work out. I'm just like, oh, I want to try it. So I end up doing it, and I end up pursuing it vice versa what he did. So I end up pursuing it more, and then I started getting more interest. Then I found the love and passion for it, because not only I was doing it for myself, you have motivation. I have a 2-year-old little girl. I had a fiance that was my motivators, and the support system from my parents and from the island, from the CNMI going all the way through Guam as well. And having a lot of family members, social media, is the biggest thing nowadays. So there's just they're hitting me up and calling me, man, good luck out there, support, do it for the culture, do it for the roots, do it for the island, represent who you truly are or who you came from. And that's what I did. And that's why I wanted to put Guam and the CNMI Islands on the map. And that's what I did. Besides me, there was another member that also got his pro card, and he's from the island of Guam, but him and I linked up. And we told each other that we're doing it for our culture, because they know that the little islands out there that didn't think they had what it takes. And we're true warriors for that. So.
Right. And bring us back to the actual competition day. For those of us not in the world, or those at the competition, tell us what you had to go through to be judged and evaluated.
Oh, so with going back to the competition day, you definitely got to be evaluated how, the symmetry, how physically conditioned you are. Obviously body fat percentage was the case. You just got to look very fit. And then also the posing, because posing does come with your body. It's just, if you go out there, you look great, but if you don't have the posing routines, you showcase your body, front back transitions, learning the flow, and knowing that I was a dancer when I was a kid, and that kind of helped a little bit. So I had a little flow and little swag with that. But yeah, they judge you by that, and then of course at the end of the day they judge you by your smile, because you want to attract the crowd, you want to bring the crowd to you, and they want to see, wow, we're having fun, we're having fun, enjoying watching it. But you want to showcase all the hard work, and you want to be artistic with your flow of your posing. Posing is like dancing. Dancing. It's all about, and you're just showcasing your body. So.
And you mentioned a lot about representing home. I understand there's also a community of bodybuilders here. I mean, I just wanted to give you a chance to maybe give some advice or share what you've learned to those who might be starting out, or those who have thought about it but might be nervous to get into it. What would you say to them? I mean, I'm sure you had similar conversations early on, right?
Oh yeah, I had a lot of similar conversations early on throughout my fitness journey, and my fitness journey still continues. But my advice to you, the young era that is interested or wants to pursue in fitness / bodybuilding, just don't quit, don't stop. Oh, keep it. It's day in and day out. You got to continue to grind. No matter what, because you don't want to hold the brakes. You want to, all gas. You want to hit that gas and just keep pushing yourself. You want to pursue in this fitness industry, you got to do whatever it takes, because it's hard working. It's a hardworking person. At the end of the day, you want to win. You want to have that winning mentality as well. You want to tell yourself that you can do it no matter what it takes. It's a tough road. It will be tough. It will be rough, but where we're from, we don't quit. There's no quit in our bloodline. This is why we do what we do, and we love what we do. So that's my advice to you, young era.
Let me win.
But if I cannot win,
let me be ready in the attempt.
Come join us at the Dedido Sports Complex for the Special Olympics Softball Jamboree on October 19th from 7:30 a.m. to 11 a.m. Support these athletes and keep their dream alive.
In 2023, as you mentioned, we had a total of 459 cases. Now we are at 534 cases with about 1,459 children.
Child abuse and neglect cases have steadily increased over the past few years. The CNMI Division of Youth Services shared the sobering update in a recent press conference. Physical abuse, physical neglect, and sexual abuse are the most reported allegations.
And our numbers going out may also mean another thing, no? It's not good that it's there because we know it's really happening in our community, but it might be because our awareness is really out there, our outreach, folks are really comfortable in reporting now, and they know where to go, they know who to talk to, and we're trying to break the stigma and also making sure that everybody's aware of the services that we provide.
DYS also noted an increase in reports of drug use in the home as the past fiscal year saw 40 cases involving drugs impacting 119 children, including 6 newborns testing positive for meth.
Whenever there's drug use in the home, a lot of other factors are affected, right? So it's really, we're looking for safety, which is utmost. For making sure that's our job, is to make sure that there's safety, that the children are safe. So the degree of the impact, different households vary.
Tomas Manglonia, KUAM News, Saipan.
So I would define treatment courts as a public health approach to justice reform, and it offers a personalized treatment service to the participant.
The NMI judiciary has developed its drug court and mental health court successfully, addressing the community's specific needs. Now the court is exploring a veterans treatment court and is in the early stages of a federally funded viability study.
And we had a site visit just recently. They came to do interviews with veterans, their family members, treatment providers, all kinds of service providers, and even lawmakers, to better understand our veteran population. And it's no secret we have a lack of data here in the CNMI when it comes to our veteran population. So the evaluator who came was conducting the interviews to kind of get a better grasp on the research we currently have. The thing about being a veteran, right, is something that even I don't understand. They have a sense of camaraderie, a sense of routine that's built in the military, and coming back to civilian life isn't easy for every veteran. And if you look at the veteran statistics, we have, so many that suffer from PTSD, traumatic brain injury, depression, and their experiences are so unique to them. And that's why we have different kinds of treatment courts.
The study should be completed by the middle of next year. That's when they'll decide what a program could look like.
There's over 1,800 drug courts, right? There's over 600 mental health courts throughout the nation, over 500 veterans treatment courts, and rightfully so, because like I said, this is a public health approach to justice reform, and it works.
Tomas Manglonia, KUAM News, Saipan.
Need a place that has everything you're looking for without the extra stops? Kmart is the ultimate destination for saving time and money with unbeatable deals, all in one place. From groceries to personal and home essentials to the latest trends, everything you need is right here. For yourself, your family, your home. Find it all at Kmart, your destination for deals, where convenience, variety, and value come together. Make Kmart your one-stop shop today. Follow us on our social media and check out our website for weekly deals. Kmart, your destination for deals.
Saipan is hosting the 49th annual conference for the Association of Terminal Operators, Stevedoring, and Shipping Companies of Micronesia. Chad Richardson with the U.S. Department of Agriculture on Guam addressed how invasive species impact the islands and industry.
42% of all threatened endangered species are at risk due to an invasive species introduction of some type. So that's important not just from a biological standpoint, from an ecological standpoint, but as you guys all know in the industry, it's also important from a monetary standpoint. Anytime we have an endangered species or a threatened species that we have to deal with, it becomes a lot of red tape, it becomes a lot more money for us to try to figure out ways to do the work that we need to do.
He also spoke about efforts to control the brown tree snake on Guam and ensure they do not reach other islands in the Pacific.
We're spending a lot of time trapping, removing snakes in and around those areas so that we can hopefully prevent snakes from finding their way into some piece of cargo and exporting them.
He said invasive species awareness is critical because it can cost billions of dollars each year in impacts on natural ecosystems and the economy.
The longer you have a species present, the more your costs go up to try to control it.
Tomas Manglona, KUAM News, Saipan.
KUAM TV8, first on Guam.
In the criminal justice system, the people are represented